Hello and welcome back to the Private Label Masters YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tim. I've been selling on Amazon a little over 3 years, and in that time I have sold over $30 million worth of goods on Amazon.com. I focus on private label, which is having my own products manufactured, which I brand and bring over to the States and over to other countries that Amazon is, and sell on the Amazon marketplace. I sell approximately $1 million every single 30 days, and this channel is to help you get your start also. Or if you're already selling on Amazon, perhaps some tips or some strategies to help increase your business selling on Amazon. So again, if you're new, I roll out the red carpet to you, I welcome you, and hit that subscribe button, and I can't wait to have you a part of the channel. All right, now before we get into the 6 words that every single Amazon FBA seller, especially you new sellers, should think about going into 2020, I want to remind you that I'm giving away a free Private Label Masters course, all right? Now, in order to be eligible for that, you need to subscribe, you need to like the video, and you need to make a comment, which I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what that comment has to do with. You also had to have made a comment on the last video and on the next video that I come out with, and then I will choose a winner. Again, wait to the end of the video so you know what exactly you need to comment in the comment section down below. So, what are these 6 words that every new Amazon seller should live by going into the 2020 selling year? Now, these 6 words, they basically are a 3-step process that will lead you to success if you can follow them, all right? So what are these 6 words? Think big, start small, and scale fast. Now, that's 6 words. Think big, start small, scale fast. Now, why should every single new Amazon FBA seller be very conscious of these words? Let's break down these 3 different steps and how they can lead you to success if you follow them. Now, if you're a new Amazon seller, it's going to be almost November here pretty soon. That means you probably won't get your start until 2020. That's taking into account time of finding a product, getting it manufactured, getting it shipped over onto the Amazon marketplace, and getting rolling, okay? So I want this to be your motto going to 2020, all you new Amazon sellers. So let's break down that think big portion of the 3-step process. What I want you to think big about? Well, this can be numerous amounts of things. For example, let's take a moment right now to think big about the opportunity that Amazon is right now. It's really a gold rush. You remember back in history class, maybe you heard about in California when there was the big gold rush and everyone went out there and a ton of people struck it rich. Well, selling on Amazon is kind of like that gold rush right now. And it looks like it's going to continue on for many, many years in the future. Well, what are some evidence that we have that we can really think big? Here's a statistic for you. In 2018, all right, last calendar year, over 200,000 Amazon sellers, regular people like yourself and myself, sold over $100,000 on the marketplace. If we fast forward to this year, 2019, it's going to be quite a bit more, maybe even double that sold at 100,000 plus. Now think for a moment of how many different marketplaces there are out there. It's not just Amazon.com. You know, I talk a lot about Amazon.com because that's primarily where most of my business is, but I sell on many different marketplaces. Did you know that Australia recently opened up with the FBA program? How about the Middle East? That's just opened up too. There's Japan, there's UK, there's Germany, there's Italy, there's Spain, there's India. The list goes on and on. There's Mexico, there's Canada. And guess what? You can have your products on every single one of those marketplaces selling to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. The opportunity of Amazon is crazy, but besides thinking big about what the opportunity is, let's think big about some potential goals that you could have going to Amazon 2020, all right? A couple think big goals that could be for you in the year 2020 is starting your own brand with multiple products. Now, could you imagine that? Your own brand, let's say you have 5 different product lines and you are able to cross-sell them to each other. Buy this one, get 10% off this one. Buy this one, get 15% off this. Buy one of these and get one of these free. Next thing you know, you're building a loyal fan base for your brand. Next thing you know, you have an Instagram account, and next thing you know, you have an insert in every single one of your products for that brand, saying follow me on Instagram. Now you've got 50, 100, a couple thousand followers for your brand that you created. Next thing you know, you are adding another product to the mix and you're sending it out to them and saying, hey, purchase my new product. I know you 3,000 loyal raving fans and I'll give you 50% off. Boom, and the cycle continues. You see how that works? So I want you to really think big about your goals for Amazon in 2020. I'm telling you, one of the best feelings is when you are out there in the wild, out there in the public, and you see somebody using one of your products. Recently, I was in Vegas and I was walking in the shopping center and there was these different boutique stores and my wife said, hey, let's check out this one. And when I looked in the window, I was like, hey, I wonder if that's my product. It looks like it. So I went inside, I grabbed it off the shelf, I looked on the back, and there it was. It had my brand. I had never ever thought that big, that it could ever possibly see one of my own products out in the wild. But I'm telling you to think big like that because it will happen to you if you really think that big and if you can proceed towards that goal. And when I really thought about it, it wasn't that crazy that I would see my own product. You know why? Because when I went on Amazon, I'm the top 2 seller for that product on all of Amazon. And 51% of all online sales go to Amazon customers. So it would make sense whenever I see that type of product, there's a good chance that it's one of mine. Think big like that for you. Your own brand, you're seeing people you know use it, you're seeing it out in the wild, you're having loyal subscribers following you on Instagram, on Facebook, waiting, craving for your next product to drop. Let's think bigger, one more step further. Selling a brand. Did you know that after you build an Amazon business, you don't have to be selling on Shopify, you don't have to be selling on Walmart, Jet.com, all these other things. If you have a product line or a brand that's selling well on Amazon for a year, 2 years, you can sell that to a buyer for 2.5 to 3 times your yearly net earnings. Now think about that. You're making money every single day for 3 years straight, and then you go ahead and you can sell that thing for 3 times and cash out for the next 3 years, and then start the process again. Now instead of with 1 brand, maybe with 4 brands. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying I want you to think big for Amazon in 2020 and what that could lead for you. Now, another aspect of thinking big is how can this impact your life if you were to get started selling on Amazon? Again, I'm really encouraging you to think big here. Does that mean you can quit a certain job? Does that mean you can spend time more with certain people or loved ones or friends? Does that mean you can go and enjoy different experiences, traveling, whatever? Does that mean you can go and maybe buy a house and maybe you don't have a house, or get that car you always wanted, or just purely get some time freedom? Okay, I want you to think big. So are you starting to think big? You starting to see what I'm talking about? That is step 1 of the 3-step process. Think big about the Amazon opportunity, about what the business could look like for yourself, and also what it can mean for your regular life and your loved ones. Let's move on to step 2 of that 3-part process, and that is start small. So we have these huge visions, right? We have, wow, what an opportunity, what I plan to do for my business, how this is going to affect me. But now, why do I say start small? Well, it would be foolish to just go in there and spend all your money and just say, yeah, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to hit it out of the park. I'm just never going to have any issues. No, that's not very smart, right? So when I say to think small, I want you to do this in several spaces, 2 different things. Start small, as in breaking down the process of private label into small bite-sized bits, okay? It's a pretty big process, right? We got product research, we have product sourcing, we have shipping, we have PPC, we have building your listing, we have designing your brand logo, your packaging, inserts, we have follow-up customer service, we have reorders, we have follow-up emails, right? It seems like a huge process and it may feel kind of daunting, but when I say think small, break down this process into bite-sized pieces. So, does that mean you need to learn about PPC right now? No. Does that mean you need to learn about launching on Facebook ads and ManyChat? No. Does that mean you need to learn about, email follow-up for your sales? No, right? Bite-sized pieces, think very small and only focus on those things. So right now, as a new Amazon seller, the only thing you should be focusing in on is product research and product sourcing. finding out the best product to source and buy, and then finding the best manufacturer to source that for you. And that's all you should be thinking about. No need to even go past the next couple steps, right? Start small. Learn individual pieces, and then as you go, get on these next bite-sized pieces, okay? Now, another thing is going for a product that may seem small in your mind. And when I say small, there's so many YouTube videos out there that say, look how I find a $20,000 product a month. Look how I found a $100,000 product a month. See, that is not starting small. If you were to try to go after a product that is selling $100,000 or maybe even $20,000 a month, to keep that in stock, do you know how much money you need to have? If it's rolling over $20,000 every single month, and 30 days for manufacturing, and then 30 days for shipping. Now that's 2 months worth of inventory. Maybe that's $30,000 worth of inventory now. Plus you have like a 15-day buffer. Do you have 40 grand right now? If you don't, then you're not thinking small. If you, as a new Amazon seller in 2020 with limited funds, go after one of those big dogs or one of those home run products, you're gonna get crushed, okay? So think small when it comes to sourcing your first product. Although it may seem like at times that this whole Amazon gold rush is rushing you by, everyone's getting all this money, everyone's making all these sales, remember there will always be more products to sell. Amazon's not going anywhere. So your key thing to focus in on right now is learning the process. That's it, right? So start with a smaller item. And when I mean smaller, I mean something that is well within your budget. Something that's, if you only have $10,000 to your name, go after a product that's doing, $2,500 a month in revenue. Don't go after a product that's doing $8,000 a month in revenue. That's not starting small. That's starting big for your circumstances. Now, if you have $1 million in the bank, you can go after a product that's doing $50,000 a month in sales. So think small when it comes to learning the private label process. Because if you think too big, it's daunting, it's overwhelming, you get shiny object syndrome over here, PPC this, what kind of automation software works good, what's the best mini chat flow, what's the best external traffic methods? No, think small, just product research, just product sourcing. And when you go for your first product, go for a product that is well within your means, something small so that you can learn the process. And after you have that small product hit the marketplace and you see it succeed, you know what's going to grow? Your confidence. And when your confidence grows, you can go after these bigger items that will require a little more difficulty, and you'll start to see your business grow. All right. So now on to the third step, and that is scale fast. Now, here is something that some may feel is a little controversial. There's a lot of people who watch different influencers on YouTube, like Dave Ramsey, who says, never go in debt, credit, all that stuff, credit cards, don't use it. However, one thing you need to know that in order for your Amazon business to grow, it requires capital. It really does. Let's say you have $10,000 to your name and your product costs you about $8,000 every reorder, okay? Well, guess what? You have your reorder, and the next thing you know, you're getting more reviews, you're higher up in keyword rankings, you're selling more now. You don't even have money to go after a second product. You only have money to keep the one in stock, and you're gonna stay there unless you have more capital or unless you have access to capital. So when I say scale fast, when you start small and you see it work, then I say really go all in. Okay, really start to push it and make the most of what Amazon is, especially in 2020. And if you don't have access to extra capital, that's where loans come in. Now, there is actually good debt to have, right? And here's an example of how loans can really help your business start to scale. Again, if you're starting to shiver and shudder a little bit because you've been watching a lot of Dave Ramsey, it's okay, all right? I'm not saying anything he says is wrong, but when it comes to scaling an Amazon business, typically you're not going to be able to follow that business model. And if you do, it's going to scale very slowly, okay? So when is a time that you want to make use of loans or a line of credit, or sometimes Amazon offers loans? When do you want to make use of that? Well, once you have a product that has shown consistency, I'm talking about on your second reorder, it is still selling consistently, right? It is clear that this thing is going to be selling for a while. This would be an opportune time, if you're comfortable, to use financing to keep that product in stock, right? And once you're able to do that, keep it in stock, you'll be able to make those monthly payments like nothing, right? And then that will free up more cash in order for you to go after product number 2, okay? Or product number 3 or product number 5. And slowly you'll start to see how when you use financing or credit lines, how you are able to use those to keep certain products in stock that are consistent sellers, which frees up cash for you then to go after other products. If you want to start seeing your cash reserves start to build, don't launch any new products for a little while and you will see it start to build, okay? So did you catch that 3-step process that I want every new Amazon seller to think about going into 2020? The first one is think big. Think big about the opportunity that Amazon is. Think big about your business goals. And think big about what getting started on Amazon can mean for your life. Really go there in your mind and commit to it and allow yourself to see that vision of what it could mean so that you can find your why and really go after it. Step number 2 was to start small. Starting small meaning don't try to figure out the entire private label business model all at once. Break it down into small bite-sized pieces. And if you're new, the only thing you should be learning about right now is product research and product sourcing, and that is it, okay? Also think small when it comes to your first product. Your primary goal right now is to understand the blueprint of selling on Amazon, because once you start with that small product, you see it have some success, your confidence will grow and you're ready to hit the ground running with all sorts of other products that are higher demand and perhaps higher competition. And then finally, step number 3 is scale fast. If you have been holding back some cash reserves while you wait for your one small item to have success, after you see it have success, it's time to really start to push this thing, right? Make the most of this opportunity in 2020. And if you don't have cash reserves, see how you can find some financing. Only use that financing not for brand new products, but for existing products that have shown consistency of selling. And if you do this 3-step model, you're bound to have some success. I have followed this throughout my entire 3-year plus on selling on Amazon, and look where it's led me. My first year I sold over $800,000 in 8 months. And then this year I'm on track to doing close to 15 million, okay? Now we talked about at the beginning of this video, what do you have to do in order to enter into the drawing for a free access to the Private Label Masters course? And I talked about you have to like this video and you have to subscribe and you have to leave a comment. Now, the comment that I want you to leave is I talked about thinking big, all right? I want you to write down in the comment section below, what is one of your think big thoughts when it comes to Amazon? It can be related to what's Amazon's growth and its future as a business. It could be what you would like to achieve with your business. And it could be also thinking big about if you got started in Amazon, you were successful, what it could mean for your life, thinking big there. So write your think big thought down below. Make sure to watch the last video so you can like, comment on that video too. And we're going to have one more video where we do this. And then I will be giving out a free Private Label Masters course. You guys, thank you so much for being a part of the Private Label Masters channel. Make sure again to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.